Hello and welcome everyone back to Disco Elysium. We are here in our little shack in the Fisher village and about to get ready for our first night here. However, before we do that, I wanted to check if I could try forging
take the legal documents
Claire
out
letter.
of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
17%. That's a little bit low, but I do have a few things that I could change. I don't wanna min-max my outfit too much, but like I feel like in some situation it does make sense. Let's maybe also throw in something for motorics. Okay. Here we go. And select.
You take the legal documents out of
42,
the envelope.
still not great.
A 12
but
to 40 month construction period and the zoning plan in the addendum.
let's try it.
With a confident flourish, you complete your forgery. What do you see on the signature line?
2 names, Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter.
Indeed, they look distinctly different and very convincing. These might as well be their actual signatures. But they're not, and the document will be nullified if they dispute it. That means Everard will have to start over.
That is our plan.
All you need to do now is mail the signatures to Everard's accountant in La Delta.
How do I mail it away? Okay. Have a quick overlook before we go to bed as to what we have to do. Put the clothes in the trash. We have to talk to Gary. We have to analyze his composure. Put the envelope in the mailbox in the... Oh yeah, right, there's the mailbox where the car is. We have to call Jamrock Public Library. Inspect the traps we have to do. Solve the egghead puzzle. Sync the signs with Lloyd. Help Ravers start a nightclub. But we have to do that. Okay. Alright, I think it's time to go to bed. Maybe... So can we shave?
On the table, you see
It's locked. Okay.
the bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Time to sleep.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever on ferrotape.
Spinning in eternity.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars. Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time
The last time. The smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers. The faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
The colors, the voices.
All stuck on loop. Whirling, spitting out words and images.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers. Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the working class.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
I'm building communism for all. This time we won't fail. There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world that's changing him.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Why?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Do it for the wind.
Ooh, Okay, we barely survived another night. That's good. I have a few things that I want to tackle early on. I think I want to fast travel to our car so we can make the phone calls and also send out the postcard. I think I can give back the jacket for Doom Spiral, and then I think we may want to go to the church.
Rise and shine, comrade. It's time to get to work.
What's going on?
Despite all the thinking you've been doing, only 0.0001% of communism has been built. It's too great a task to undertake alone. You're going to have to get organized. Organization hasn't exactly been your strong suit, historically speaking.
I thought the shack was nice and cozy as is.
Your level of personal upkeep is irrelevant. All that matters is your commitment to building the World Republic. You must seek out your revolutionary brothers and sisters. Find out how much communism they've built. Then, together, maybe you'll be able to build as much as 0.0002% of communism. But it won't be easy. Decades of persecution by coalition authorities have driven the remaining communists of Martinaise underground. They live underground. These communists aren't men. They're mole people.
Will they help me fire up Mother's social sausage grinder?
Just between us, you may want to lay off this grind up the bourgeoisie stuff. It's a bit off-putting, even to fellow communists.
Okay. I don't know if I want to go searching for mole people.
They're not mole people. They're your comrades in the eternal class struggle. It's your task to find and join them.
But I'm part of the coalition authorities. Have I been persecuting communists this whole time?
Possibly. If you have been, it's only because you're a double agent acting in furtherance of your long-term objectives.
Sure.
Regardless, what's past is past. You need to look forward to the work of building communism for all.
How am I supposed to find them if they're hiding?
Let your nose guide you,
My
detective.
nose?
Yes. Fortunately, communists are known to have a very distinct smell. We really have no idea what they're talking about. There's no linkage between ideology and olfaction.
What does communism smell like?
Failure.
There's so much failure in my life already. I don't know if I can take any more.
That's why you're perfect for the job. No one's got a better nose for failure than
Thanks.
you, Harry. What you're smelling is your own body odor, of course. Nothing a shower and change of clothes couldn't fix. People sometimes complain there are no real communists left in Martinaise, but you can smell their presence. They're out there, waiting for you to join them.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's get organized.
First, you'll have to locate the remaining communists in Martinaise. When you get near to someone with revolutionary potential, your nose will give you the signal to establish contact. Again, no, it won't. Any olfactory response you perceive will be strictly psychosomatic.
Hang on, what will I do once I establish contact with my fellow communists?
You'll discuss the monumental world historical task that lies before you. You'll engage in rigorous and spirited debates about Mazovian theory and practice. But mostly, you'll probably complain about other communists.
Isn't that last part kind of counterproductive?
Not at all. Complaining about other communists is one of the most important parts of being a communist.
Well, alright, let's get to
There
it.
we go. Wake, brave worker. 'Tis no time for bed. Fight till there's no slaves below, and no masters o'erhead.
Okay. Ready. Think. Let's do a communism. So I think Kim should appear in front of our shack, and then I want to go back to our car. We have like a couple of phone calls there, and then we have to send out the letter, and then we might go back to the church unless something else disrupts us, which is very, very possible. Fast travel, how do I do it? Oh, I can also travel to the church. That is interesting. Okay. Back to Martinaise waterfront. Perfect. So. Oh. What are these guys doing? Hello, sir?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Says the young man with a piss written on his back.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
His companion wears a simple yet elegant slogan, fuck the world.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches, flow bears, or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
I'm so glad you asked.
The question was rhetorical. The skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Non-verbal.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around the brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
You know anything about the murder that took place here?
Murder?
A man was hanged in the backyard of the Whirling and Rex.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Oh.
Also, he was hanged.
Anything else?
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
What does that mean?
Fucking philosophy, man. You can do aggressive shit with philosophy. Justify shit.
Like murder, or wasting your life away.
You know, do you happen to know what happened to the victim's armor?
Nope. But Cindy does.
Don't tell him that. Skulls don't tattle, man. Cindy wouldn't.
You mean Cindy the Skull?
No. A different Cindy. From out of town. She doesn't know shit about armored gloves, that's for sure.
He did mean Cindy the Skull. All right, we have a lead on the gloves.
Is that the lady on the apartment? What's with the jackets?
What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences.
Sure, that is what I assume too.
Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
What?
What I mean by this is, we are all piss and that the world is inherently meaningless.
That much is true.
Why do you have "fuck the world" written on your jacket?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it. To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times And even then, it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though,
Blow it up!
you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Yeah.
Yes?
You think it's a coincidence?
What is?
There are 2 of us and 2 of these jackets.
What are you implying?
Which one would you wear?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
I don't know.
You wanted to know which jacket I'd wear, right? Neither. I'd wear neither.
Come on, Kim, it's just a mental exercise.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the 2 statements.
All that works. I feel more like a fuck the world kind of guy.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
I mean, let's try it.
These guys aren't scary. You're not scary. I have nothing to work with here.
Okay.
It's either begging or bullying, or both. Just ask them, maybe.
Gentlemen, I need your jackets.
Why?
Look at the shit I'm wearing.
Yeah, like he said, total shit. What about it?
There's a spark of sympathy in the youth
I
eye.
didn't say that.
It's not shit, it's disco.
It's shit.
Please.
Fine. Fuck it.
What?
Here. Take it then. I can't handle this sad shit.
If you
It's
got the
true.
jacket?
He simply can't. It's called empathy. Wow. I did not see that coming.
No, me either.
You better wear that jacket with pride.
Fuck that. You're not getting mine. My dad's a lawyer in La Delta. He'll have your badge.
No, he won't.
The lieutenant is lightly amused by the situation.
Wait, well, fucker, you got a rich dad?
No. He's like a volunteer lawyer.
Uh-huh.
A total bitch. Cites law and does dishes. You know what, cop? Fuck you. That's not what this is about. You're not getting my jacket.
Fuck him. We don't need his rich dad jacket anyway.
Okay, we don't need the other one.
I'm not wearing that jacket.
Why not? You could really raise hell, go undercover, hard.
I don't think this case requires us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jacket will be useful at all.
Well, still, it's good to know that we have it should the need arise.
The need will not arise.
Look at this cute shit. How can we become skulls if you go around fraternizing with cops? Let's get the fuck out of here before anyone sees us.
Fuck. I'm
Okay.
sorry, man. I just don't like confrontations, that's all.
Oh well, they're real badasses. I'm a fan of the jacket, but drama +1, authority -1. Wouldn't wear it anyway. But I think it's time to make some phone calls.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
So first, connect me to Jamrock Public Library, please. No, let's first report the dead body. I need to report the dead body on the Martinez portal.
One moment.
I can hear her shuffling through some papers.
Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
An unidentified middle-aged man, height 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he slipped, fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against the metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him, and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
No, seems like it was an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Mijon.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We are taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Can you connect me to the Jamrock Public Library?
I'm afraid they're closed. It says here that the library is open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
We should try again during business hours.
10 a.m. to
Anything
6.
else, Detective?
Okay. Anything about the boots?
Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Okay.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
I guess not. So we can call the library a little bit later, which we will do. Still no word from... or about the boots, which is a little bit concerning.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito, bullet holes, and an RCM sticker.
I know we'd get to use this mailbox for something.
Yes, for sending mail.
Drop the white envelope in the mailbox.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. About a week's worth of mail as collected in there. They'll empty this very soon. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug, Everard. You know he's going to play you somehow.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
Okay, perfect. Before I go there, I wanted to check in at the Whirlingen ranks, just seeing if there's anything new. There's always so much to do. Time.
Wait, no. Something about this bunch doesn't smell right.
What do you mean? Aren't they Everett's guys?
They are, but they don't seem too keen to talk with you, do they? No, they don't. Glenn seems to be contemplating grievous bodily harm while he massages his raw knuckles. In the far back, Eugene is doing his best to ignore you.
Meanwhile, Fat Angus keeps shooting you furtive glances and mumbling uneasily to himself.
And from his perch at the end of the table, Titus Hardy himself stares at you with a cold contempt that makes you want to leave the cafeteria straight away. Besides, you're pretty sure they consider themselves social democrats.
Alright, guess I'll have a look at somewhere else. No communists there. Hey, what about you?
Hi again, Gendarme.
Nothing new.
Bye-bye, Jean.
Anything from her?
I've got nothing to say to you.
Nope. Oh yeah, let's tell Lana that we found her Husband.
Oh, hello, dear. There you are again.
I ran into your husband on the coast.
Goodness, how is he? Did he say why he hasn't returned yet?
I thought he had. The old woman clasped her hands together over a blanket.
He's fine, ma'am. As we had suspected, he couldn't get back earlier because the water lock on the canal was broken. Now he's just finishing up some work.
Oh, yes. That's my Morel. He's bound to catch a cold staying out there for so long. But I am so relieved to hear that he's okay. Thank you for putting an old woman's heart at ease, if even a little.
You haven't, however. There are dangers out there. Our aging body's foul. Her heart won't rest until Morel is safely back with her.
You never told me you've seen the phasmid.
Oh, you don't want to hear about some old woman's ramblings.
No, I really want to know.
Reflexively, the lieutenant read his familiar notebook.
Well, it was summer. I was building a racing track out of sand on the beach near a tall stand of reeds. Quite a tall one. Many times my height, I remember. When, all of a sudden...
Wait, where was this and how old were you?
I'm getting ahead of myself. I was 5.5 in Betancourt in the suburbs. My grandmother had a summer home there.
She'd just started forming memories. Real memories. Not the billowy haze of infanthood.
What happened?
The strangest moment of my life. I looked up and one of the reeds moved. Not like a plant, but like a living thing. It stood up and looked at me. Its body unfolded like some antique toy. I've never seen anything like it. I didn't know this can happen, so I reached my arm and touched the thing. It felt just like a stalk of reed, but it moved, swaying, towering above me. After a while, 20 seconds, a minute maybe, it left, went into the reeds.
Did you follow it?
I tried, but I was only a child. There was mud and high water. I couldn't see it anymore. I was just standing there, knee-deep in mud, looking around me.
Where did you go? Don't go.
And what?
I ran back home to my grandmother and asked her if reeds could walk, and told her they were looking at me. Of course, she just laughed at me, but I knew what I'd seen. For years, it was a story I told at parties when I wanted to impress boys, that sort of thing. Of course, most people just took it as a strange, amusing anecdote. So did I, honestly. But then I met Morel. We were on our first date when I told him my story. You should have seen his face. He said my descriptions matched the phasmid down to a T. Its white marble limbs, the way it moved.
So that's how they met. This is beyond significant for them.
Yeah. So, you were on a date?
Our first, yes.
Its limbs are white?
Not all of them, as far as I remember. Some of them, on the inside like stalks of marble, if that makes sense.
Okay, how big was it?
It's hard to say how big things are when you're quite small yourself. To me, it seemed to be taller than I was then, but that's probably not the case.
Maybe you imagined it?
Of course. I've thought about it. But Morel says my report matches with the others, and I'm sure I hadn't heard of the phasmid as a child, nor had my mother or my grandmother. So how did I know what to imagine? It was only when I started telling my story as a teenager that boys would tell me, "Lena,"
He lowers her voice, imitating a boy.
"you trying to tell us you saw the Insulindian phasmid out there in those reeds? Get out of here." They just give me a cider and ruffle my hair and tell me to stop dreaming. But I saw it.
Kim, what do you think of this?
I thought it was a wonderful story, ma'am.
closes his nose and gives her a smile.
But I don't believe it. A child left unattended on a warm day. Children make up stories and then end up believing them.
Thank you for sharing this with me.
You're welcome, sweetie. I do appreciate the chance to relive it whenever I get one. It was just such an impossibly sunshiny day. So warm.
And she could get up and walk right into the reeds on her own. Into the mud. Anywhere.
Okay, anything new from Gart?
Hey, was there something you needed?
Well, well. Bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
Anything new here? No.
Another thing. Got the 20 ray out. Then why are you waiting?
Okay. What about these two?
Again?
What?
Yes? What is it?
Are you with him?
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
You look cute together.
And you look like you don't bathe, on principle.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay?
Okay. I wanted to just quickly check upstairs if I can finally talk to the lady. And I think I will actually make my way then over to Everard.
The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives. He doesn't like where this is going.
I want to talk to her. Crying out loud. Yeah, I think I will go over to Everard's. Tell him that we sent out the letter. Maybe by then it's late enough so we can actually, on our way back, call the library. And then go back to the church. I thought that the cryptozoologists, that they were actually returning here to the Whirling Racks, but apparently they don't. I wanted to... At some point I want to stop by at the... What's it called? The Frit to get some health.
There.
Healing.
Do you smell that?
Or what?
Can you not detect that inimitable whiff of dissatisfaction and restlessness? That sense that the world is in need of dramatic, even violent reordering?
Close your eyes and take a deep breath.
Can you smell it now? You inhale. The cilia along your olfactory epithelium tingle with excitement as they sift through the swirling morass of industrial odors. First come the smells of the agitated strikebreakers, layers of body oil and sweat, over-buttered meals pulled from Bakelite lunch pails, the biting stench of lye soap. And then there's the slowly oxidizing metal gates, the scent of stale grease emanating from every crack.
Everything in order, Detective?
Smelling for communists, Kim.
You're smelling for... You know what? I'll just leave you to it. Carry on, Detective.
It is a mark of the lieutenant's respect for you that he does not press you on this decidedly extracurricular errand. The lieutenant lacks your highly developed politico-olfactory cortex. The reek of communism is undeniable, and it's coming from that railing right there.
You mean from Manana?
Yes, now's your chance to establish contact. But be easy about it. Communists have been known to charge when startled.
Hey, it's up to Manana. Joining the movement.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Time to establish contact. Listen, brother, there's something important I need to talk to you about.
What's that, Boya?
Now's your chance. Remember, communists are notoriously skittish, so it's best to insinuate your way in.
It involves our mutual friend, Raz. Put your hand next to your head and curl your fingers like a deer antlers.
Don't think I've ever met a Kras personally. Then again, I've never been to Grad.
I'm looking for some people who know how to really grind a sausage, if you know what I mean.
Have you tried a butcher shop?
Looks at you with perfect equanimity.
Okay, maybe it's time to abandon the subtle approach.
What I'm trying to say is, I'm looking for a communist. You know any?
Ah, now I see. Can't say I'm surprised. You seem to take your communism seriously. Not a bad thing, mind you. It's good for a man to take time to think about the whole socio-political world picture.
Oh, he certainly likes to take his time with things, especially when politics are at issue.
So you've given up copying and now you're hunting comunistas. Care to say why?
I'm not hunting communists. I'm trying to get organized by them.
Oh, I see.
Gives you an exaggerated wink.
I wish I could help. Unfortunately, I don't know many comunistas.
I know you said you are not really a communist, but aren't you actually a communist?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I'm not institutional. A man's got to blaze his own trail, in my book.
Blazing his own trail, being his own man. Not exactly your typical communist spiel. Okay, so maybe he's not exactly a communist, but there's definitely some communistic residue about him.
Ah, but you know, I did meet a genuine ideologo a few months ago. Perhaps he's your guy.
What's an ideologo?
You know, a guy with a theory. Someone who likes to pit his theory against other theories in deadly theory combat.
How did you meet him?
It was late one night as I was leaving the arbor. He was waiting on the corner in a bright white jacket. Classic Sarameritian style. He asked me for a light. We shared cigarettes. Then he asked me if I ever thought about getting into some of the extra physical branches of communism.
Hang on, what does that mean, the extra physical branches of communism?
No idea. I took it to mean he was asking me to join some sort of underground cell. A very old school organizing technique. The sort of thing comunistas used to do before the revolution.
What did you tell him?
The same thing I always tell people who try to press some claim on me. I said, every boyadero rides alone.
Okay, how do I find this guy?
I couldn't tell you. Once I declined his offer, we finished our cigarettes and he disappeared back into the night. Just before he melted into the shadows, he turned to me and said, "Remember Dobrava and Abadanais." And then he was gone.
Who are Dobrava and Abadanais?
I don't know. Guess not everyone remembers.
What do you think it means?
Been wondering about that myself. Some comunista inside talk could be. Not meant for the wider public. They love that kind of thing. You'd have to ask someone who knows this ideologo personally. I have to say though, it sounds like you found yourselves a proper hunt.
The man whispers a jaunty tune.
Okay.
The coastal breeze ruffles his hair.
Yeah, he didn't join us, which is kind of sad. I like Manana. I wish there would be a faster way to get to Evra. Like a shortcut of sorts. Okay. Oh, it's such a long path back to it. Maybe I can give it another try to convince the container to open for me.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here.
Let's
If
try it
anything,
again.
It seems to have grown slightly.
8%.
Despite the dirt that surrounds
Whoa.
and trails you, a beacon of light emerges from deep within you.
Hello? Is there anybody in there?
The door stands silent.
Satisfied, detective?
Wry smile crosses the lieutenant's face.
Try again.
If there's someone in there, I'd like to talk to you.
Just like that, you hear a click,
Oh!
then a rattle. Some mechanism unlocks itself inside the door.
Ahoy! Come on in!
What? Mega rich light bending guy?
You can't be serious.
What? See, Kim? You should trust me on these. Whoa! What the?
The man stands at the far end of the shipping container. It's hard to say anything more about him. You cannot make out any of his details, but you do feel the overwhelming presence of capital. The feeling causes all the hairs on your body to stand at attention, like soldiers preparing for review.
Squid.
Something's amiss. The light beams bend around his face and scatter in 1,000 directions. It seems the laws of physics do not apply here. They are suspended, distorted, and echo. Trying to visualize the physics at play is liable to give you an aneurysm. Don't think about it too hard. In the general stillness, only your tongue moves, flickering as you utter.
Hello?
Welcome. Come in, make yourself at home. Sorry, I'm not better able to receive you. I wasn't expecting visitors today.
You can't hear him exactly, yet you're able to understand every word he says. It is very strange. An overwhelming hum covers everything. Voice doesn't escape from him.
Now, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
What you can see of his body appears composed in a sharp summer suit and yacht shoes. Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, I haven't been asked that question for such a long time. I don't meet a lot of people outside my circle these days. Anyhow, my name is Rustam Diodore, investor, license holder, and extremely high net worth individual. And you are?
Mr. Diodore, I am Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi of the RCM, and this is my partner.
Harrier Dubois.
Pleasure to meet you, Harrier Dubois. I must
Okay.
admit, the name suits you very well.
Thank you very much. I don't know what's happening here. I didn't expect this. How did you become so rich?
Oh lord, not this again.
What's the matter, Kim?
Oh, nothing. It's just that we've got this murder to solve, and yet you go around asking everyone about money. And every time I ask, are you sure this is related to the case, you say, sure, Kim, I think it is. And yet, it never seems to get us any closer to solving the case.
It's quite alright. I'm used to the question by now. To be blunt, I inherited my fortune from my grandmother, who herself was an extremely high net worth individual back in Grad. All I did was take her fortune and invest it prudently. Believe it or not, it takes more than a bit of skill not to blow a vast fortune on sailing boats, bad choices, and unsupervised state policy.
What is it like being an extremely high net worth individual?
I gotta tell you, at first, being rich is a lot of work. You've got to work hard because everything's so darn expensive. You know, prices increase exponentially at this income level. But then, once you've reached my position, it's nearly impossible for me not to make money. My assets are so diversified that I'm bound to come out ahead no matter what. Some of my lower net worth friends say to me, but doesn't that take all the fun out of it? And I tell them, not really.
You're a thief. People out there are working their asses off while you chill here.
And that's what? Unjust? I think it's perfectly just.
What do you mean?
Listen, Mr. Dubois, I used to be an idealist just like you. But the truth is that we have no objective system by which to measure someone's value other than the market. We should just embrace that rather than resist it. The hand that allocates resources among men is invisible and cruel, but it is steady, measured, indeed, it is just. Capital makes one speechless, does it not? Blinds like the sun that rises from beyond the horizon after a gloomy winter.
Hey, all this talk about money has made you lose the thread. What is going on with the light in this place?
True.
That's what you need to ask him about.
Yep. There's something strange about you.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know how to put it. You look somehow a little different.
Are you talking about my chin?
No. I mean, I can't even see you. It's as if something is happening to the light.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yes, I've heard of this effect, though I've never witnessed it myself, of course. It has something to do with our Weisswiesemann coefficient.
Oh, what?
It's some statistical thing. In essence, it says that when an extremely low net worth individual meets an extremely high net worth individual, some of the laws of physics cease to apply.
Are you telling me that you are so rich that light literally bends around your face?
Among other things. But calm down. I'm but a lowly single-digit billionaire.
I'm calm.
That's good.
Kim, are you seeing this weird stuff?
I see nothing of the sort. To be frank, all I see is a gentleman who's unusually well dressed for Martinez, in a cargo container, which I admit is odd.
Okay, so he doesn't see the light.
Yes. I imagine that does look strange to you. My container.
What are you doing in this container?
Traveling. This is a great way to get around. It's fun, it's safe, and it gives me lots of time to think. By the way, let me now ask you a question. Where are we exactly?
We're in Martinez. There's a pretty good hostel here called the Whirling Rags.
Ah, interesting. I've made quite a few real estate plays over the years. It's a shame I can't get out and explore myself. One of the downsides of being an extremely high net worth individual is that mobs of low net worth individuals are constantly banding together to ask for money.
Wait, why don't you help them? You've got so much money, it can't make a difference to you.
There simply aren't enough hours a day to hand out all the handouts. It's like feeding seagulls. There are always more, and they never seem to do anything interesting with it, except more seagulls. Spending money is a matter of desire. I'm sure you agree. I don't have the desire for spending it like that.
You travel from place to place by a shipping container.
Smart, no? It also provides a means to hide from all the targeted advertising we extremely high net worth individuals are constantly subjected to. Luxury yachts, high fidelity portable radio systems, bail-proof outerwear, and so on. It just gets a bit middle class after a while. A bit bourgeois.
Ah, so you're saying being rich isn't worth the hassle?
What? No, I didn't say that at all. Being rich is great. Just don't tell anyone I told you that.
You're a rich investor, right? Can I have some money?
Could you please stop asking everyone for money? It does not reflect well on the RCM, and to be perfectly frank, we can't afford to look worse than we already do.
But Kim, I also can't afford to look any better than I do now. That's why I need the money.
It's perfectly alright. Based on your appearance, I can tell I'm dealing with a smart man. As you may know, us high net worth individuals do not have a lot of cash on hand. Investments and liquidity are enemies of one another. I think I only have coins for coffee machines. Here is 3 real. How much can you get for this?
Are you sure you don't have any more? I thought you were a billionaire.
Yes, I'm sure. You know,
his eyes narrow, the light seems to bend more aggressively.
Maybe you can make that money grow. Come up with an investment plan. How's that sound?
This is a proposal, not a question. These ultra-liberal types love losing huge sums of money on ludicrous proposals. Ergo, you should come up with a plan that's totally dead in the water.
Oh boy. I don't have one though. Maybe I come back to him.
Stopping by. If you ever
with
have
an
an idea
investment
you want
plan.
to pitch me, I'm all ears.
Oh, this was bizarre. All right, let's move on to Everard. Maybe we can come up with an idea for an investment plan to scam this guy. Because that is my plan. But I think also this is a good time to end before we talk to Everard. Thank you all for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a like. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Share the video with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. If you want to go above and beyond, you can check out the Patreon link down below. And I will be back with more Disco Elysium, the final cut, tomorrow. Until then, have a great time.